back from injury for the Los Angeles Rams. We assume coming up next week. Good to see you, Aqib Talib. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Rich. How you doing?
Okay, we got Maurice Jones-Drew in between Mooch and Kurt right there in the middle. Good to see you, Maurice Jones-Drew.
Good to see you as well.
All right, I'm just going to put it right to you. Are you coming back next week? We seeing you next week?
I mean, that's the plan. I'm going to have an eye test on Monday. Coach is going to see how the ankle look once I'm competing. You know, it's different. Drills, competing, it's a lot different. So I'm going to compete on Monday and we'll see how I look.
All right, now you're, okay.
If you ask me, though, Rich, I'm coming back.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Coaches, they're going to be a little smarter than me. You know?
So you went political and now...
Yeah, you know how that goes.
So we'll see you next week, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, there. We don't want to force anybody, but just want to get the answer. Michael, the Patriots needing the rest, needing to get that bye week, needing to have it because they've never won it without it. Is there any truth to that? What's the concern here, do you think?
When we ask, do we have any concerns about the Patriots, we're still in the regular season, and the Patriots will get through this regular season. All of this is about getting in the playoffs. Now, my concerns are not with what's going on in the regular season, because they will win, unless you are, as you practice against the Patriots every day, like Matt Patricia did when he coached against Tom Brady, or you played against him in practice every day, like Mike Vrabel did. These guys knew something. They knew something of how, the little tricks of how to stop this offense, and they implemented it. But everybody doesn't know that. And the Patriots have shown that everybody doesn't know that for many years. I'm not worried about the regular season. I will be concerned if they're not playing at home in the playoffs, because that makes a huge difference.
Keith, what do you think?
I feel like Mike, man. I'm not worried about the Patriots at all. I think the only thing that can stop these guys is their health. I mean, you look at Gronk missed 3 games with an injury. Edelman missed 4 games with a suspension. Gordon, he joined the team week 5, week 4. Sonny Michael missed 3 games with an injury. So you put Tom Brady with all of his guys, all of his weapons, man, there's no doubt that they'll be in the AFC Championship again.
And for me, the biggest concern is that when I look at this team, they're not as dynamic across the board as they've been in the past. And so in the past, yeah, Tom Brady would always play well, but they would have other facets that I felt could carry them at times. I'm not sure they're that team this year. I feel like it's about Brady, which is a great problem to have, is that Tom Brady has to play well. But, come playoff time, oftentimes you have to win away from what you do best. And so I'm not sure this team is going to be able to win without Tom Brady playing extremely well. And so I think they need every advantage they can get this year. That's why home field advantage for me is extremely important. I like their schedule going forward, but there's some other teams that are right there with them. If they slip up a little bit, have to go on the road, I'm a little bit concerned.
Yeah, I am too. I'm concerned about their inconsistency. They've beaten good teams like Kansas City, Chicago, Houston, but then on the other hand, Michael, you mentioned it, they lose to teams like Jacksonville, the Lions, right, the Titans, those kind. They've been up and down. One of the reasons is Gronk. And Aqib, you mentioned it. He has missed 3 games, but even when he plays at 64 yards receiving per game, that's the lowest output for him since his rookie year. He still seems to be a little bit in ill health. I don't know how healthy he is. And so they're inconsistent for a lot of reasons, but right now they don't seem to me as dominating as they always have been.
My concerns are not, it has nothing to do with the Patriots. It has everything to do with the Kansas City Chiefs, who can score points, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who can score points, and who both their defenses are starting to find ways to get turnovers and score as well. So I think as long as Tom Brady and those guys are doing everything, you have to understand that if you can score points, and we saw that, if you can score points, you can beat them. Kansas City went into New England and scored 40 points. How many times have we seen that? I think Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers are finding ways to get better, too, through all the distractions they've had throughout the season. So I think you guys are right. Yes, it's health and all these different things, but once you get in the playoffs, you're playing juggernaut teams week in, week out. You're going to have to go to Kansas City. You may have to go to Pittsburgh. You're going to play them again here in a couple weeks, but if you don't win those games, it's going to be tough.
Well, if you take a look at the bottom of the screen right there, it's rare to see the Patriots in the middle of a 7-3 mosh pit and a half game behind Pittsburgh, who they do visit. They do get the Vikings in their house
they already beat
next
Kansas
week.
City.
They do have, today's the first of 2 remaining games against the Jets. They have the Bills in their house later on this year. So they will have, there are more wins for them on the schedule right there. They do visit the Dolphins. We all know that's usually a house of horrors for New England, if there is one for them that you could call. So they're in this mix right now. And the question is can they get caught? They have a tie break on the Texans. They won there in week 1. They've got a tie break on Kansas City.
Chiefs.
They won't need a tie break against Pittsburgh because of that tie. So we'll see. I mean, we will absolutely see how that all